Hey Internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries, Book 3, The Book of the Raven, Chapter 21, Three Tree Hill. Welcome everyone to our Dungeons & Dragons campaign that happens every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. I am your Dungeon Master, MTD Jake, and I am joined by 4 of 5 players. Dwight's feeling a little under the weather tonight and will not be joining us, but will be with us in spirit. So yes, you'll hear from Mizya tonight.
I'll make sure of it. Yes,
Ricky will let us know.
What's Mizya doing?
we are They're in the middle of a You're in the middle of a complex combat. Vorn is lying on the ground dying, and Vorn's gonna go. What's Mizya doing right now?
Absolutely, my last breath.
Famous last words. That's
Thank
gonna
you,
be
Jordan.
on Vorn's tombstone. What's Mizya doing?
What's Mizya doing? What are they up to?
Yes.
I'm going to keep the announcements short and sweet tonight. I am going to just say this Wizards of the Coast is not a sponsor, but I am a reviewer, so I get advanced copies of books. And I would be remiss if I didn't share this new Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. This is the alt cover. The other one I had with me all weekend. I just want to say that since 5th edition came out, I have not yet so eagerly devoured a non-adventure book. This as a source book is amazing, and I have already used many of the things in it for this and the Dawnbringers campaign. There's just so much great stuff in here, a whole bunch of new Dragonborn, Draconic ancestries, all the gem dragons, lore about the different ages and hordes, and great worms. This book is, I just wanted to say, it's absolutely amazing, and I'm using it for just about every game I run, including for Jordan's upcoming charity stream. I'm going to be running an Oops All Tiamat game, and it's going to help me give the players some guidance on how to play the 5 heads of Tiamat. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Not a sponsor, but speaking of sponsors, Talon and Claw, makers of fine wooden dice accessories. I've got 3 of their vaults right here. The exclusive Kickstarted Whiskey Barrel Dice Vault, this Bloodwood Vault, and my new favorite vault, this Aromatic Cedar Vault, sent to me by Goblin Katie. Every time I open it, I have to take a whiff because that cedar just smells amazing. And more importantly, they're great vaults for holding all my dice. Exclamation point MTD Claw in the chat, or you'll periodically see it pop up. I see also in the chat our other sponsor, Run Right Play, information is showing up in the chat now. You can check out Keel's amazing community of collaboration over at his Patreon, so be sure to check that out. Look up above Jordan's head and you will see that the gang here, I guess I should start calling you the book club. The book club now has 10 domain tomes. You are the only ones, viewers, who can supply them with these domain tomes through your generous subscriptions, resubs, gifting subs, $5 tips, 500-bit cheers, or by supporting either in a one-time or by becoming a member over on Ko-fi. The link is right down here and is also in the chat. Be sure to check that out. There are 4 tiers from Explorer to Adventurer to Hero to Legend over there. And one of the perks is, of course, you get a shout out on stream, such as Hawkmere, RQ Stefan, and Ashenworks, who are all supporting at different levels. We thank you for your support, and you can join them and help support the players and their domain tomes. The last thing I want to mention before we get into the game here is, of course, We talk about it every week because it is important. We talk about it before every game because it is important. And that is your mental health. It's okay to talk about it. We're trying to do our part to help destigmatize conversations around mental health. In fact, I've been super honest about my own struggles with anxiety and depression. And I'm excited I get to see or talk to my therapist tomorrow. I've been seeing them every couple of weeks to just talk through things. And it's been just an amazing difference in my life in the last couple of years since I started talking to somebody. And I would encourage you to do the same thing if you need somebody to talk to. First and foremost, know it is okay to not be okay. It's okay to struggle, but you don't have to do so alone. You can come here to our chat, and you'll see it show up periodically down along the bottom of the screen or in the chat, but I'm going to put it there now. ! Help. That'll bring up the URL for findahelpline.com. Click on that link, save it to your bookmarks, save it for yourself, save it for a friend, but check it out. It's full of wonderful resources, super simple to use, and you should be able to find somebody to talk to either through text line, through a phone call, or on the website, whatever you need. So please use that. All right. Too bad Dwight wasn't here to witness that record moving through the announcements. But nonetheless, I think it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons. So, continuing on their journey, the book club has been following a mysterious map found in a book given to them by a bird. That's right, a raven dropped off a book. And the library sanctioned them to investigate further. The mysterious map led them to the deserted town of Witchway, where they ran into the three dragon aunties, three dragonborn women who told them a few things, quested them to retrieve their jade turtle figurine that was missing, foretold where they were heading, and told them of a shadow crossing, and just to keep an eye out. On their way there, at the Hand and the Horn, as they were warned by the three dragon aunties, they ran into a nest of harpies. A couple of them got charmed, and Doc nearly died again. But they were able ultimately to defeat the hags. And then a manticore showed up. Fortunately, the hags were all dead. The manticore basically said, "You've got until I'm done eating these hags, these harpies, to get out of here, or I'm going to eat you next. Also, I'm taking your horse," to which they all went, "No!" Assyria sweetened the deal with a whole bunch of boar meat. And then they got out of there as fast as they could, heading into the unnamed forest, or rather, because there was much deliberation about this, not heading into the forest proper, but just inside the edge to set up camp for the night. And that is where we are picking up as Doc, you were unconscious for the last couple hours of travel, having been knocked down and out of it, but right at the end of the session, you woke up. You have 1 hit point. You are now awake. Book club, what do you want to do?
So are we on our way out of this like dangerous area? Are we well past it? How long have we been? Is it like right away? Like right after we ended last time?
The dangerous area being the Hand and the Horn?
Yes.
Oh, you were well past that. You were miles.
We went to the woods and we just went within the tree
right.
line.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yep, you're well past that. Couple hours travel. It is getting toward nightfall. You were able to start setting up camp, and then Doc woke up.
Okay. I look over at Doc And I kind of look at the others. I'm like, I think we should rest. I mean, right? We have to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, I think you have a silent spell on you or
Yeah.
something. I
What?
saw your lips move.
No,
No, you don't think we should rest?
I mean, we don't have to.
Doc, you look like shit.
I do.
Well, it's not
Well,
your fault.
But
You definitely don't look your best, Doc. I mean, you've been through hell today.
but
You look wonderful.
I thought
Doc,
I thought I was cute.
You are very cute. That's
very
not.
adorable.
But you're hurt, Doc.
Yeah.
You almost died.
I look like shit.
Doc, your coat's dirty. You got hit by like a ton of rocks. Yeah.
No,
Doc.
At
Aw.
the very bare minimum, you need to at least hop in a lake and clean your wounds, clean yourself off a little bit.
Well, perhaps instead of a lake, just because we don't really know the area that much, perhaps Mizya could press it.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Hey,
I'm so sorry.
As Mizya is already
I'm sorry.
moving, as you say this and you hear yes, yes, Mizya, they just kind of move out from behind Doc where they were obscured. Already sort of almost, you see this purplish quill, and it seems to move and dance across as if just brushing away the dirt and blood and whatever else from the combat, leaving Doc's clothing pristine.
Well, you look much better now. Thank you, Mizya, and sorry about that. Doc, before we started to talk about your looks, you were starting to go into, you were seeing some things, you were having a dream or something?
Wasn't a dream because I wasn't asleep because I don't
Right.
sleep.
Right.
No, I heard something. It was
Right.
it was a place I've been before, but at the same time a place I've never been before, if that makes sense. And
Okay.
something kept repeating. It was a voice that I think I might have heard before, but maybe I've never heard before. I can't tell. It was very difficult to remember because I was there in this place that I may have been before that was very familiar to me, but at the same time was not familiar to me. And the voice kept repeating, sanguine vita est, something like that. Sanguine vita, something like that.
You see Assyria start to say, and then she quickly stops. I should probably not say something that I don't know what it means.
Sanguine vita est?
probably stop saying it, Doc.
Yeah,
It
it's
sounds evil
probably-
and it sounds majestic and it could just, who knows?
Stop saying
We're-
sanguine vita est?
Yes,
Because
stop saying that.
the reason
okay.
being, I think it's important to give a reason why, perhaps. We don't know exactly what it can mean, and there's power in words. What if it's the name of something and we're invoking it? We don't know what it could be.
I will stop saying it.
Okay.
Smart.
Jake, could I do like a history check to see if I know what language that might be in?
You certainly can.
Okay.
Teera just shakes her head and starts to, I'm gonna go get some firewood. I'll be back. And I
Nice.
wander off.
Yes, we should definitely split the party after such a difficult encounter.
I'll be fine. I'm just getting firewood.
Okay.
Well, I rolled 2 10s because I'm still rolling at disadvantage. So that
Damn.
is 11. Nope. Probably have no idea.
No, you can't pinpoint this language.
Not abyssal, celestial, common, elvish, infernal, or primordial.
Hmm.
Oh,
Is it giant or orc? Orc.
fair. Well,
Yeah.
I had to try. I had to try.
Yeah, just, cast a wide net.
You know.
Nope, not giant or orc.
I'm just getting firewood. Kind of trying to get a lay of the land, see how good our camping spot is, if we're vulnerable anywhere, and sort of thinking.
So this area of the forest, the way I'm picturing this is you are on the outer edges of this forest. You've sort of transitioned. You were traveling over a lot of grasslands, and then you went around. Things got kind of barren around these spires of rock, but then you went back through grasslands, and more as you headed towards this forest, more and more trees started popping up. They're very sparse, so it's kind of like
Okay.
at this point that you've chosen to set up camp, there's a tree maybe every 30-40 feet. Plenty of brush to be found, plenty of kindling and fallen wood, and you could even chop down a couple small trees if you wanted to. So there's plenty of wood to be had, but you can see that in just a few hundred yards, the true forest begins, and looking towards it, it is dark.
Okay. Good. And then I just go get wood and bring it back. I don't chop down trees because, of course, the stuff that's already on the ground will be dry.
All right. What about Vorn? What are you doing during this time?
Vorn is. Last time he was in the woods, we were attacked by rare rats. Rare rats.
I'm Bob Wawa.
Well, we'll love.
Yeah.
Was forever.
And so Vorn remembers how he kind of took it easy back when the rare rats attacked. And rare? Where? Okay, I'm
Where?
sorry. Get it in my head. Where rats?
Which were quite rare.
And yes, stop it. You're gonna mess me up. And so which case he is on guard because he does not want to be caught off foot from an ambush from any type of creature again. So what Vorn's going to be doing is he is looking around the perimeter, kind of setting up. Gosh, I don't think I carried any bells or string along with me. But he's trying to figure out how to make the camp safer.
Oh,
You know?
I can help.
Yes.
You need to rest.
Doc is gonna go into his bag. He's gonna get some moss out. He's gonna chew it. He's gonna put some black powder, sprinkle some black powder on it. He's gonna smush it all together, and he's gonna smear it on himself. And he's gonna look down and say, that really is quite unpleasant, but I'm fine. As he heals himself a little bit. And he's going to say, well, Vorn, you know what we could do? He's going to pull out a sack, and then he's going to grab, where's my list here? Aha. He's going to take 2 of the large clay pitchers that he purchased, and he's going to put them in the sack, and then he's going to smash the sack on the ground. And then he's going to sprinkle the broken pieces of pottery around the camp.
That's a great idea. Doc, you may be the smartest person in the world right now. And Vorn sees what he's doing and feels a little more assured, but he's definitely keeping outlook. Hey, let's set up some sleeping shifts. Who's sleeping when? Who's gonna rest when? I have no problem taking first shift. You guys can decide the next 3, 4. But yeah, I'll definitely take first shift.
I'd like a little sleep, but I'll take second shift if you can wake me up, Vaughn.
Yeah, I'll wake you up in about. Where's the sun at right now?
Setting. It's almost completely set at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I'll wake you up in about 6 hours.
That's good.
Perfect.
Do we need a third shift after that?
I'll take it afterwards.
Okay.
Mizya just says, after about 4 hours, I will stay on alert.
And Doc, you don't need to sleep, right?
No, sleep is for the weak.
Or the living, Doc.
Right.
I mean,
People with a pulse sometimes need to sleep,
And
Most
what's
things
to
work
say
better
that-
when
Oh, sorry. Go on.
most things work better when you turn them off and turn them back on again.
Yeah. And
what
what's to
does that
say-
mean?
A pulse?
Mhm.
No, the off and on again. I don't usually turn things off. I usually turn things on.
Hey,
you've turned on- I'm sure you've turned plenty on in your life, Doc.
Don't
And
bet on it.
I kind of chuckle to myself as I kind of curl up in my little bedroll.
Who's
Vorn
to
is
say-
Vastly
who's to-
confused.
Did I say something that was funny? I mean,
who's-
usually
who's
when
to
I say something is funny, it's on purpose. Because I'm quite funny. Sorry, Asaria, I interrupted you. Please continue.
It's quite all right. What I was going to say, who's to say that before you were the doc that you are now, that you didn't sleep and do all of that before? It gives your mind time to process things that have happened.
That's a great question. Who is to say? I don't know. Do you?
Doc, hold on. Do you know who
I'm
you
getting
were
a
before you
headache.
were before
Before what?
you
Mhm.
became, you know? Can I
Do-
say reanimated? I look over at like Assyria. Can I say reanimated? Is that okay?
Do
I
you
think
know
you
who?
should probably ask him, not me, if that's okay.
Do you know who you were before?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird question.
Wait a minute. Hold on. And Vorn is like, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Like I have a. Okay, so hold on. Most people, people, I mean all of us, like when I die, Doc, I think that's the end of the line for Vorn. You know, kind of like when you like kill anything, like that's the end of the line. I don't expect Vorn to be again, but you know what? And Vorn just kind of looks out and looks at the horizon. Never mind, Doc. Never mind. Never mind.
That was Vorn. That was a lot of words all at once. And I'm not sure they all made sense. But what I would say to you is, how do you know?
I guess I don't, Doc.
That's my point.
Well, a lot of it, I think, has to do with faith. Not necessarily believing in a god, but believing in something.
Oh, there
If-
are.
You have to believe, for instance, Doc, that, for instance, you keep asking, how do you know?
Mhm.
Which is
You're all
implying-
gonna meet your gods if you don't let me sleep.
And the Sarah will start whispering. Sorry, Teera.
Huh.
Okay.
Sorry, Teera.
Doc
gets
is absolutely not going to whisper. He's like, I know better. Tira's not going to hurt me. She's my friend. No
Oh.
matter what she says when she's
Ah.
tired.
Well,
But Doc,
So-
do you remember like what you were before? You became reborn.
I don't know that word. But what I do know is that I'm me and I like myself.
I mean, that's good enough. That's all we have, basically, right?
You, Lady Gaga, is born this way.
yeah, pretty much.
Vorn looks out into the sky with a little bit of deeper sense of existential dread.
This was a very productive conversation. This worked well for all parties involved.
Oh,
Right.
boy.
We all
Well-
know it seems like we all know less than we did 10 minutes ago.
Damn.
Valid.
Well, I mean, except for me. I still know about the same.
You hear Teera start to snore very loudly.
So Doc, me and you, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm gonna like take a seat on where we can kind of like look at the sky and just kind of stare upon it and the moons and kind of like look around every now and then, glance around the horizon and just kind of wait for Doc to say anything if he says anything at all.
Sarah promptly passes out after this
Jesus.
wonderfully
Jesus,
stimulating
Gary.
conversation.
Okay, I'm sorry. Doc, what are you? Okay, what are you
I'm-
looking at? What do you see, man?
I'm resting. I'm very relaxed right now.
What makes you relaxed?
When everyone else is asleep, I try and relax.
You know, all things considered, Doc, most times when folks are relaxed, they kind of relax their shoulders and like
This is
the enemies are kind of okay. Are you
That's what I look like when I relax right now.
Yes.
you
Alex
just
is
don't
fine.
seem very relaxed, Doc. What do you see when you look out and you see the stars? What do you see when you look out?
I imagine it's the same as you see. There's the stars and there's like maybe a bird. Let's see. Cuckoo.
Hold on, Doc. That's actually a bat. Birds go to sleep at night. What you're seeing right there. See how the flight pattern is kind of in this swooping and like kind of a figure eight movement. That's a
Huh?
bat.
Yeah.
Birds kind of tend to not fly like bats. Birds kind of sleep at night, right?
If you say so.
I mean, you're the doc, but I mean, yeah.
This is a very relaxing conversation, Vorn.
I mean, Doc, you're kind of okay. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever flown at nighttime? Like that thing you did when you sprinkled and you mashed up the powder and you
When I
walked.
showed you the world, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. How high have you gone?
Doc starts doing some math in his head, and he said, "The highest I've gone is 1,000 feet high."
Oh, Vorn's gonna roll a quick alertness check, just to because we're still trying to be vigilant here. Is that okay?
Perception. Yep. Your Call of Cthulhu was showing through.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
it sure was, wasn't it?
Spot hidden. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I played Call of Cthulhu over the weekend. 17.
It's a pretty quiet night. The occasional bat. You can hear. You can hear some distant. Somewhere far off, the distant howl of wolves. You hear. In the opposite direction, you hear some wild dogs barking. A little bit of rustling of small nocturnal creatures in the grass, but nothing else.
Nothing dangerous. Doc, I've been meaning to ask you, and you can answer to your level of comfort. The flowers. Why do you carry them? I see you have a few in your pocket there. And
Well, they smell nice, and they make me happy. It
Mhm.
gives me the warm feeling in my chest that starts like right here and
Mhm.
then spreads like all the way over here. And then sometimes when I give one to somebody else, sometimes that feeling goes all the way up here, and sometimes it goes back here, it goes back there. So I like to keep them because you never know when somebody might also need to be happy. Because when people are happy, they are happier. Wait, of course they're happier. They're better when they're happy. Sometimes people want to be happy. Sometimes they need to be happy when they're sad.
Are you sad, Doc?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, who
Are you
could say
happy?
for sure?
Who can say for sure? Who can say for sure? And Vorn looks at the duck that is resting on Doc's head. Somehow he missed the fact that the duck like just saddled on top of Doc's head the whole night. You don't mind that the duck's on Your head.
No. Would you?
I gotta say, I mean, yeah, getting away with my goggles and everything.
He likes sitting on my head, and if sitting in my head makes him happy, then I'm okay with it. I
Yeah.
think making people and creatures happy is really important. I think you need to sometimes go out of your way to do something for others that will make them happy, even if it makes you uncomfortable.
Ain't that the truth? And
Mhm.
Vorn kind of looks up at the stars and he's like, you know, Doc, I like you. And he just kind of like, and that's all he says. He looks up into the stars and
Oh,
enjoys the moment with Doc.
that's
Doc.
oh my god.
Doc is in his restful state, so he doesn't move, and he's gonna say, I think I like you too, Vorn.
You know, it's the first time anyone says that to me. And it's
Well,
kind
I don't think it'll be the last.
of, we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Doc, roll me a D100.
26.
Okay. So you're able to carry out your guard shifts throughout the night. It sounded like, with the exception of Vorn and Doc, everybody else was going to pull single shifts. So, unless you have something you specifically want to do while it's your guard shift,
Who's after me?
you were going to wake Teera up.
Okay. So Teera, if it's okay, Vorn kind of nods off and you'll have to, like, tap me on the head, on the shoulder.
Wait,
I won't wake up if you don't wake
hold
me
up,
up. my
hold
friend.
up. So Vorn's gonna drift off during his guard shift.
No. Oh no.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We've been through a harrowing ordeal. He's a tile boy.
I'm exhausted.
Him's just a tile guy.
Doc, at some point during the night, some period of time after the last things you and Vorn said to each other, you just feel Vorn's head lightly against your shoulder
Oh god.
as he's drifted off to sleep. Teera, make me a disadvantage perception check.
Oh boy. Okay. Disadvantage.
Actually, you know what? Not perception. I want it to be insight.
Okay. Well, that's still a 16 with disadvantage.
Okay, roll me a d4.
Okay. 3.
Oh. Okay.
That's my fault.
It's several hours. That's all you know, is it's several hours after you were supposed to have been woken up that something wakes you up. You just kind of feel like, I think I was supposed to be up. It's really quiet. The fire is embers.
Shit.
You hear Assyria and Soren snoring near you. You hear the very soft breathing of Mizya from over by the cart. You can see the silhouette of Doc just off to the edge of the fire. You can hear Vorn snoring next to Doc.
Shit. Teera just kind of smiles and shakes her head and starts restoking the fire. And then gets it to where the point where it's a fire again. And she doesn't go wake up Vorn. She just kind of takes her sword and like puts it on her shoulder and starts doing like kind of laps around the rest of the camp, figuring that was there going to be a third shift or no?
There was, but
I'm not gonna.
you
wake Assyria up
are
now.
basically less than an hour, about an hour
Yeah.
into patrolling. You see that the thin line of light in the east as the sun is going to be rising soon. You
Vorn
actually
started off
you got your full night's sleep before your guard shift, so yeah.
like Vorn started off on Doc's shoulder, but if and when Vorn awakes, he is like squarely in Doc's lap, like just
Oh, that just curled up.
all the way over, all the way over.
buddy.
So in case nobody has done so already, go ahead and hit your long rest button just to make sure you've
Nice.
actually taken your long rest, which will
Do I
reset.
get to finally remove that exhaustion?
Ah, yes, and
It
you
is time.
lose the last
It
point
is
of
time.
exhaustion.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a new day. You're able to get everybody around. Well, we'll see. I guess we kind of want to see how the Vorn situation plays out when you do actually wake him up, or he wakes up on his
Eventually,
own.
when it's like the sun is more or less up, I go over to him after several laps around the camp, and I kind of like, I just sort of like bump him. I like kick his boot.
Coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Oi. Good morning, Sleeping Beauty. Didn't feel the need to wake me up for my shift, eh?
Oh. Looks over and he sees like towering Doc, and Doc's and kind of like,
You two lovebirds have a good night then. Yeah.
Yeah,
What I thought.
it was nice.
Yeah.
We didn't wake you up.
No, I know you didn't. That's the problem.
I mean, it wasn't my job to wake you up, but
No, it
I
wasn't
didn't
your
do it
job.
either.
No,
Vorn fell asleep.
it's okay. It's
Ugh.
okay. It doesn't matter, one. Nothing happened last night. I mean, we could have woken up with our throat slit, which means we wouldn't have woken up at all, I guess.
Right.
But
Yes. I was already keeping an eye on everything.
Mizya was keeping an eye on everything.
There
It's
we go.
okay, Vaughn. Don't let it happen again now.
Yeah.
yeah. I was, harpies throwing axes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I gotta go find a lake. I gotta wash out. Some
Just
mint
use-
leaves, something to
just
chew
use
on.
your water jug. We don't know the area, and I would say, since we don't really know the area just yet, it's probably not a great idea to wander off.
Doc,
you
do you
can
have
get
any?
Get him a cinnamon stick or something to chew on.
Yeah.
His breath stinks.
Do you have any mint leaves, Doc? I can chew on. As his tusks are kind of like outside of his lips, and he's
Folks tend to drool, you know.
I have rosemary.
it'll do. Go ahead and pass those to me. Thank you. And
Good
kind of
for-
Vorn.
good
Before
for-
then,
Cleaning
What?
your palate and seasoning your pork.
true that, as Vorn goes to find the largest tree trunk he can find to relieve his bladder and also spit out the rosemary that he's, you see him like kind of walk 30-40 meters into the woods and take a swig off of some water, and as he and
When
Yeah.
Vorn gets up to leave, Teera kind of like looks over Doc and is like, "How you feeling this morning, Doc?
I feel fine.
You sore
Not
at
as good
all?
as I did yet. Sore? No. Why would I be sore?
You took
Oh.
a fucking thrashing yesterday, Doc.
Yeah.
You almost died. Again, I guess.
Yeah. No, I feel fine. I felt fine yesterday. Felt fine the day before. I'm sure I'll feel fine tomorrow and today.
Well, how
Me-
about this, Doc? Can you let us know if you're ever not feeling fine?
Okay.
Good. Okay. Well, we should probably get on the road. Don't want to waste any more daylight.
We'll do a a Star Wars wipe transition to
Star Wars, what's that?
your bags are all packed. Your camp is all put away. You've got the wagon loaded. Once again, Doc is at the reins with Mizya sitting beside him. Everybody's on horseback that wants to be. Soren walking along with you. Do you leave your broken pottery, or did you scoop it up and take it with you?
I try to scoop as much of it as I can. I'm not going to get it all, but
Okay.
try to take as much of it as I can.
Yeah, you can definitely fill a sack with quite a bit of the broken pottery. The D100 ahead you roll was there was a 5% chance that all that broken pottery was going to cause a problem for Soren.
Oh,
Oh, you
Pop
hurt
Pop.
him. Doc's gonna
Mm.
die.
You're gonna hurt then, boy.
You're gonna hurt a lot.
At least we know the order of priority now.
100%.
So you begin traveling along the road, and you're just a couple hundred meters outside of the edge of this unnamed forest by your map. You know you have to go through the forest, and when you see something called Three Tree Hill, that you turn south heading towards the bridge. That's all you know. The sun is well on its way to creating a pleasantly warm morning. There's that little bit of mist clinging just above the field grass. You can already see the rays of the morning light are stabbing through the trees, creating these spotlights of yellow light cutting through an otherwise dark forest. The trees and the canopy are thick in here. It is a mix of mostly coniferous trees, but there's a few deciduous, wide canopy trees, but everything is fairly close together. But there is a clear path as you begin your way into this forest. As you move into the forest proper, all of you notice that there is a stillness in the air. It's not quiet, but it's like there's no air moving through here. You can smell that spring smell of new growth with the underlying sort of sickly sweet odor of rotting vegetation. Still, the ground's still damp from the spring rains, but dry enough as you're moving through. You can see some of the forest floor is not quite as thick as it will be in just a couple months, as the foliage really begins to take on life. And you do occasionally hear sounds moving through the forest, the distant fall of branches, something skittering out of your path. But even as your hooves of your horses fall on the path, the creaking of the cart as it rolls along, that sound seems to die almost immediately. It doesn't echo or carry through the forest. The forest has a very sound dampening quality. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
11.
Jesus, God.
Mizya got a 9.
I got a 5.
Oh.
11.
Okay.
Doc got a 1.
Okay. And
So
I will
of-
say, I do need to know for crits in both directions on this, because it makes
Yep.
a difference as you were traversing this. So, Doc, you critically failed.
No, I rolled.
Oh,
a
you
2. I have a
critically
penalty.
succeeded?
No, I have a penalty, so I didn't roll a 1. I rolled a 2 that became 1.
Okay, then you didn't. That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
I rolled a
Okay.
2 that became a 4, and Soren rolled an 18. I don't know if he needed to roll.
Soren
better
does
for
not
this.
need to make
Okay,
the
cool.
save. So Doc, you failed. Assyria failed.
Yep.
Wow. Did all of you fail?
Vorn
so.
says out loud, like, man, I could really use one of those sweet
nap.
cakes that we had. Remember a
Oh,
few days
yeah.
ago?
Yeah, fairy cakes.
Ugh.
So this is
Cakes.
this is unexpected, but
We're gonna die.
interesting.
That sounds gross, Vorn.
It's okay. I understand why you say that,
Doc, as you say this, you begin to feel uneasy. All of you begin to feel an uneasiness. Starting with Doc. What is something Doc is afraid of?
Ooh. Shit.
Being alone.
Mm-mm.
Doc, as you turn to Vorn to say something to him, he's not there.
Mm.
You look next to you. Mizya is not next to you on the wagon. You don't even hear the sounds of the horse's hooves at all. As you look around, there's no Soren, Assyria, Teera. The horses, even the horse that was pulling this cart, is gone. You are sitting on a motionless cart in the middle of the woods. And you are mechanically frightened.
Hello?
There-
Hello?
There is no response.
This is fine.
Assyria, what is making you frightened?
Now, herself. She can't trust herself, so she's afraid of herself right now.
Assyria, immediately off to your left, you see something move next to the trees. And then it's gone. As you turn to look at it, just out of your periphery on your right side, you see more movement. You look again, and it's gone. The third time that you see movement, you turn. And you see about 15 feet away from you. You see yourself standing next to a tree. Twigs and leaves are in your hair. The cloth of your clothing is torn. There are scratches in your armor. Your sword is gone. Do you say anything to yourself?
No, I think she's shocked. She's gonna, she's frozen, but she's gonna look real quick just to see if she sees anybody in the party or Soren even.
You
it's gonna
glance. Go ahead.
go on. I was gonna say it's gonna take everything she has to not just collapse to her knees.
You glance to the side. When you look back, this version of yourself is now 5 feet from you.
Ah,
Oh.
God,
Oh,
that's
oh,
nightmare shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm
I love
sorry.
it, but I hate it. I love it, but I hate it. No.
Mizya is sitting on the cart next to Doc and hears something. It begins. It's picture in a movie where you have that sort of the almost fisheye wide angle lens up really
Yup.
close, as in fact it's that like Snorri cam where it's like attached to them, like in the movie Pi, or I can't think of what it's called now, the drug one, both by Darren Aronofsky, but where every time they move it's like the camera's attached to them. Mizya's looking around at every little sound. Their eyes are wide. Nothing but whites all around the center of the eyes. And their fingers are digging into the bench of the cart. Teera, what has you frightened?
I mean, perpetually Tira's fear is like being too weak to help people around her. Helplessness, weakness.
Teera, as you feel a fear that you've managed to suppress for a long time begin to surface, you feel it pushing past the strength and bravado you put on. You find it pushing past your years of knowledge as a fighter. You find yourself feeling the opposite side of that coin, that is rage that fuels you in battle. It's pure fear of not being all that you know you should be able to be. And as you look down at your hands, you see 12-year-old Teera's hands.
Mm-hmm.
You see that you're not wearing your armor. You're wearing the dirty, stained clothes and cloak. And tied around the part of the saddle in front of you is the torn blue remnants of Torin's cloak. When you lost him, when you told him to run.
Shit. Tira's is frozen. It's like she like wants to cry but just can't. She's paralyzed. Just staring. Yeah.
Vorn, what is it that has you terrified?
Sorry, can you say that again?
What is it that has you terrified?
Vorn feels fear about being scared himself and not being able to fight or challenge what is in front of him, and not being strong enough to fight the thing that is in front or deal with the thing that's in front of him.
Hmm.
So Vorn, and all in all, Vorn fears being weak. Don't drink that. That's Coke, my child. Sorry.
I'm over here like, don't tell me what to do.
No, my
know.
7-year-old wants to try to drink some Coke. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Not my dad.
Vorn, as you are feeling this sort of inadequacy, this feeling like you don't quite measure up, I was trying to vamp a little bit. I can't find it. What was your sister's name?
Oh man, which one? I have like 9 sisters, but the closest one,
The one. There's a very particular sister.
yeah, I gotta check it out. Hold on.
Yeah, I was
Jump
just.
into the Discord.
Born backstory.
Let's
Everybody
call
take a
her
drink.
for now until we figure it out. Let's call her Vornuka.
Actually, I just found it.
You found it?
Nice.
Okay.
I found the document. Da, 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 da.
Be sure to tune in every Monday. to Scribes'
Venazura,
Rolls, the
I believe, is the one. Venazura.
I would write something like that.
Yes. So it's your sister Venazura, whose voice you hear in sharp, biting orc. She is on horseback next to you.
Mm.
Look at you. Pretending to be a warrior. You wear the armor of your father. You disgrace his legacy. You wear his goggles. You are not fit to see what he saw. You are not fit to don that armor. She rides closer to you, where your axe is, I imagine, sort of tucked into the side of the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls the axe out of the saddle. This is the weapon of a warrior, not the weapon of a thiaka. And she just basically, in orc, calls you a pussy.
Yeah,
Oh
yep.
my god.
Didn't have to say that. It came right through.
Yeah, it's like, wow, damn.
And then she smacks with the flat of the axe the rear of your horse and calls after you. Run, little Vornuk! Run until you can't run no more! All of you suddenly become aware as Vorn's horse just rears, digs into the earth, and takes off running with a loud whinny, startling the other horses.
Shit.
And you all find yourself flying through the woods. I need all of you who are on horseback to make animal checks, or animal handling checks. Doc, you will make either animal handling or dexterity for the vehicle. Do you have land vehicle proficiency? Then you will not add your proficiency bonus.
Can I make mine with advantage using a tome, please?
You absolutely can. We've got a couple of those, thanks to
Somebody's
some
gotta
folks.
get us out of this
Vorn
shit.
shouts out, I am worthy.
Oh my god.
As to the nothingness that's around him. I am worthy.
Oh god. I got a 17 for
Okay.
animal handling.
14.
14, 17. What'd you get, Vorn?
Me and Assyria both have 14, right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep, we both got 14.
Okay.
Yep.
Doc?
I got 22.
So you are, let me just check Mizya's dex for holding on to the cart. Natural 20.
Whoa!
God,
And it
fucking
did that
Mizya.
thing, the digital die did that thing where
Mizya.
it rolled onto a 2 and then over to a 20. I thought Mizya was going to be the one left
Mizya
behind.
knows this cart will save them from the sun and is not
yes.
going to let it go.
Mizya has their feet pressed into the floorboard. Their hands were digging into the seat. And I imagine at this point, suddenly, Doc, you feel Mizya's one of Mizya's arms sort of wrap around one of your arms that's holding on to the reins, as you all manage to maintain control of your mounts and your vehicles. You are flying through the forest. This is like the speeder bike scene, practically on horseback and with the cart.
Wow.
The cart is sort of sliding at times across the pine needles on the ground and the leaves. Your horses, when I say you maintain control, it's more that you manage to hold yourself onto the horses. The horses are running wild.
Mm-hmm.
The trees are getting thicker. You hear something crashing. You swear you hear something else crashing through the brush and the trees, but you see nothing. I need everyone to make Another wisdom saving throw.
No, my God. No more. Shit.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to roll for Mizya
19.
here.
God.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Power 6.
Hey, me too.
Oh,
Six,
boy.
six, six. Ah.
Same.
How's that go? Okay, so Doc, you got what?
6.
Assyria?
1.
A natural one?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, this is gonna be bad.
Yep. Fucked.
That is 2 fails. Mizya failed with a 9. Teera, you got a fail.
A 6. All of us got a 6. Everybody
No,
else.
Vorn got a 19.
Oh,
Yeah, Vorn got a 19.
I apologize. What
Vorn.
backwards universe is this? We all failed except Ruckus? What the
Well-
hell is this?
Well,
Vorn.
I can explain it. Yeah, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead, explain.
No, it's outside of the game.
Okay.
I ran a Call of Cthulhu over the weekend, and I destroyed the whole planet because my players failed their mission, and thus we are in an alternate side dimension, side universe reality in which I roll spectacular. on-
Gotcha. Okay.
Well,
I got
Seems
a top
logical,
the goblin.
it
Captain.
looks like we're about to destroy your world here.
Let's
Vorn.
go. Yeah.
Around you, you sort of start to get control of your horse.
Mhm.
You still feel the fear, that lingering fear of that fear of not living up to the reputation, even a fraction of the reputation that you should hold. But you also in this moment realize that what you witnessed wasn't real. You can feel the axe in the saddle slapping against your thigh as you're riding. You can you know that your sister wasn't actually there. However, as you look around, you see the cart has come to a stop. Mizya and Doc are staring straight ahead on this cart. Teera and Assyria's horses sort of slow down and begin just sort of whinnying a bit uneasy, but they are, both Teera and Assyria are staring straight ahead. Doc, everyone is gone. You are stunned. You can't speak. You can only mumble incoherently. You have the mechanical condition of being stunned. As you look around and see this, at this point, you're almost, it's just, you feel this fear in the same way the night before you were describing the happiness that the flowers give you. You feel this antithesis of emotion, this primal fear coursing through in ways that you have not felt before. As you look around and there is no one. Assyria.
Vorn.
No, go ahead,
So-
Vorn.
Sorry. So with as much might as Vorn can mumble through his gritted teeth, and he's more saying it in his mind, but it comes out as mumbles and whispers. I am the firstborn. I'm the firstborn. I'm the firstborn of Venushka. I am the firstborn of Venushka. I can handle what is in front of me. I can confront what is in front. I can, and he's and that's the kind of like the mantra he's running through as he's running through in his mind, and then
Are you
No,
saying
two
it in
gritted teeth.
common or English? Or
What's
Orcish? Orcish. Are you
In
saying it
Orcish.
in common?
It-
In Orcish?
it's got to be an Orcish. Absolutely.
Teera, next to you and around you, you hear orc voices.
Oh man.
And you hear them calling out commands to one another, locations, and you hear someone say, "Got him." And you watch as a band of orc thugs are converging in front of you a little ways. And one of them has a bundle in his arms that's kicking and thrashing, and it's torn.
Oh shit. Okay.
You are
would
stunned. You can't speak.
Fuck. Oh.
You
At
can't.
this point,
You can't take
people-
any kind of actions.
Teera would appear stunned still, but if anybody's looking closely enough, there's just like this. It's like that scene in Get Out where it's like he's wide-eyed, but like tears start to like, yeah.
So
Oh.
just for the rest of you, anybody that failed, you're stunned, which means you are incapacitated. So you can't take actions or reactions. You can't speak except you can't move, and you can't speak except falteringly. And there's a couple other things that aren't relevant right now. And you watch helplessly, Teera,
Oh my god.
as they hoist Torin up onto a horse, and another one throws a rope over a tree branch. Assyria, as your horse comes to a stop, you look down beside you where Soren has been keeping pace.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see is Soren ripping into the flesh of one of the horses. And as you look at him, he
got
looks
the rabbis.
he looks back at you. And then you watch as Soren shifts and stands upright. And is you.
No.
It's you. And then you turn and you're tearing into the flesh of the horse. You look at yourself. You wipe your mouth. And next to the horse is Teera's broken body. You hold your hand up and you watch as the fingers elongate and claws appear and slash at Teera's belly. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh my god, Jake, you pushed me into Stress Cobra.
I wasn't even looking. I didn't notice you had moved into Stress Cobra. That's awesome.
Stress Cobra.
You know?
Oh man.
All right. So we're going to take a real quick break, 5 to 10 minutes. And then we
I'm
will
gonna have
continue.
a stern talk with my dice.
We will continue with this. So please do stick around. We appreciate all of you. Just want to make sure you don't miss what's going to happen here as they try to get out of this forest. We'll see you in just a few minutes. And we're back. Doc, once again, you find yourself completely alone. The cart is not moving. But as you look around this time, and you can barely look around, you're almost, but not quite, paralyzed by the fear. You turn to your right, where you could feel Mizya clinging to your arm as moments ago you raced through the woods. And what you see is the skeletal hand, the sun-bleached bones of a skeleton clinging to your arm. You look past Mizya, and you see the broken, scattered, and shattered bones of the horses of Vorn, Assyria, Teera, and even Soren surrounding the cart that you sit on. You can't speak, but you can think. What is going through your head in this moment?
Doc is thinking that he's failed everyone he's ever cared about, and now he's by himself.
As you turn your head, the small, hollow bones of a duck fall to the ground.
Oh!
Next to a shattered flower pot.
right?
Teera.
Oh my god.
You are on your knees on the forest floor. A sword that is too big for you to wield lies on the ground next to you. You wear boots that are much too large for your feet. The clothing that you're wearing is ill-fitting, too big for you. The feelings, the emotions that you're feeling right now are too much for 12-year-old Teera, who was staring, unmoving, into the branches of the trees, where a lone figure swings gently back and forth from the rope. What's going through your mind?
How I've failed everybody I've ever cared about, and just any hope there was in me is gone. And I mean, Teera wants to end it. Like, there's no reason to go on anymore.
And
But
you
there's
find
no way to do it.
you find yourself unable to move your hand towards the sword. You just look at the blade helplessly. Assyria. You watch as the half-human, half-wolf form of your doppelganger finishes tearing apart Teera. You see the torn and broken bodies around you. Mizya, Doc, Vorn. As you look to one side, paralyzed in fear, only able to move your eyes, you see the figure walking towards you. What are you thinking?
Aria is thinking repeatedly that this can't be real. That in the back of her mind, she should have left when she was at the camp instead of telling everybody. Perhaps everyone would have been safer. This is her fault. Whether she killed her friends knowingly or unknowingly. And is this what happened to her family?
The lycanthrope version of yourself is staring right into your eyes. The blood of your friend still glistening and dripping from its own mouth, running down its front, staining your clothes. And it licks its fingers, wipes some of the blood off its face, and draws a line from the bridge all the way down the tip of your nose, down your face, and whispers in your own voice, "No, it doesn't matter. If you leave them now, later. You can never leave the wolf behind. Sooner or later, we're going to devour them all. Need everybody to make one final wisdom saving throw.
I'm using a tome.
I would like to use a tome as well. I was gonna wait for somebody else to do it first.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, there's two of them.
Thanks. Oh, neither of those is very good.
17.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
10. 10 is average on a D20.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't
The wisdom
10.5
save,
average?
right?
Doc,
Oh,
you have succeeded.
Oh.
I'll come to you in a moment. Assyria, what do you roll?
Hang on. Oh wait, no, it is a 13. I was like, I'm so used to rolling with disadvantage. It's a
You are
13.
still paralyzed. The only thing that
Okay.
would have helped you was a natural 20.
Got it.
woof, woof.
Mizya, I need to roll for Mizya. Excuse me, Mizya's failed every roll and continues to fail. Mizya is now paralyzed as well. Teera, what did you roll?
A 10.
10. That is also a fail. And
You nodded. You gave me hope.
Oh.
Vorn,
Hey, there's Ruckus.
Ruckus is back
Here we
just in
are.
time for
Just in time.
just in time for the final
Oh,
wisdom
man.
saving throw.
Welcome to the series finale of Candlekeep and Mysteries.
I
Scribes
need
and Scrolls.
so far Doc has passed and everybody else has failed.
All right, here we go. I don't know what I'm rolling wisdom
Ricky's
for.
gonna
but
get an
Wisdom
natural
saving
20.
throw.
We're in the bizarre.
power 4.
Use the tome.
Okay.
Use the tome.
Use the tome.
Now yes.
Yeah,
now
use
yes.
the
Yeah,
tome. We have some.
Doc and Teera use tomes to roll with
Okay.
Yeah,
advantage.
do it.
We're gonna have to roll that tome again.
All right,
and
roll that again.
burn that. 14.
Still a fail.
Okay.
Oh shit! This is a high rating.
Well, I think it's the DC gets higher the more we
The
fail.
more the worse.
The
Yeah.
DC goes up with each successive attempt. So, Vorn,
Jesus, Jenny.
you are now stunned. Teera, you are paralyzed. Mizya is paralyzed. Syria is still paralyzed. Doc, you are just beginning to hear. You're still stunned, but you're beginning to hear from around you the sounds of your friends. The fear is gripping you, but you realize so is Mizya. Mizya is next to you. But Mizya, their eyes are wildly darting back and forth, and their hand is digging into your arm and unmoving because they are literally paralyzed. You see Assyria staring straight ahead, still on her horse, tears streaming down her face. You see Teera, also on her horse, staring straight ahead, tears streaming down her face. And then there's Vorn, whose horse is also near you. And Vorn, the horse is sort of coming to a stop, and you see Vorn sort of moving his mouth almost wordlessly, a few orcish syllables coming out. We'll start with you, Doc. How are you reacting now that you see that some of the fear is subsiding and that it seems to all be in your head?
Doc is going to feel a sense of calm spreading from his chest to the rest of him knowing that everything that he's seen is just a figment of his imagination. But he recognizes the gravity of the situation, as it seems that all of his friends are locked in the same loop that he was locked in. So Doc is now trying to think about how he can help his friends as Gary looks through his character sheet to see what kind of nonsense he has.
You can't take actions, nor can you take reactions.
Right.
And you can't really speak because you're stunned.
Okay.
Sure
Then
as hell
that's all
can't
it
chew
is.
on your moss and shit. God.
Y'all with the meta tomes.
You're well. Well, listen. Our
You're
fate
gonna
is in
say
our
you're
hands.
welcome, but you're just helping yourself.
I know.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. So Vorn, we'll jump over to you for the moment. As I make these adjustments real quick. Okay, there we go.
Thank you,
it's wrong.
team. Thank you. Keep them coming.
Vorn, you hear the hoofbeats of the horse that is rapidly charging up behind you as your sister has come charging in on horseback. Sorry, there was another tomes that came in for you, and I'm trying to make sure I get those.
Thank you.
I just have to find the.
Let us focus. where
Vorn
it
is
should
saying
There
to
we go.
himself, I'm not a coward, I'm just different. I'm not a coward, I'm just different.
be.
Not a coward, I'm just different.
As your sister comes charging into view, you see that she is wielding a weapon. She's wielding an axe. What does this axe look like? Because it is the axe.
Yes. The axe is it drips it is an oversized axe. The blade is large. It is all black. The handle itself is made of black wood that isn't a it looks more like a bunch of vine wood intertangled and woven together to make a handle as opposed to a one solid piece of wood, and the blade itself drips this dark maroon viscous like liquid off of its tip as if it's bleeding itself. But with each drip, the drip hits the ground and almost burns the ground, almost as if it is dripping some type of magma. But Vorn sees what is dripping is the blood of all of his ancestors and previous chiefs before him. But in a sense, whoever wields it feels invigorated by its power. So that's what the axe looks like as it comes into view.
As she comes in wielding this axe, you see in your memory the night before, as you and Doc are sitting next to each other, the fire crackling and your allies sleeping. You're looking up at the night sky, and you say, I like you, Doc. And Doc turns to you and says, I like you too, Vorn. the blood axe cuts through this memory as your sister decapitates Doc next to you.
Oh.
And
Oh.
Vorn, shocked, reaches. No!
You attempt to cry out, and you can barely spit out the syllables.
I feel choked as the words leave me, as if I'm yelling, but I'm shout whispering.
Like in a bad dream.
Teera,
Mm.
you are walking now barefoot, rags about you. The remnants just barely still discernible that it's even blue of a fragment of cloth wrapped around one of your hands, around your wrist. A slight dark stain. Those looking might not even know it for the blood that it is. But you know it from one of many failed attempts to leave this world behind. As you are stuck in this world, walking through the streets of an unknown city. You are a beggar. Your cup is empty. And everywhere you look as you walk through these streets, homeless, penniless, you're afraid to look at the trees for what you'll see hanging there.
I wander forever, I guess.
Assyria. The last thing you see is not the doppelganger of yourself, half woman, half wolf. You see your own hands in elongated claws, dripping with blood. You taste the blood fresh and delicious in your mouth, remembering just moments before when you bit into your victims' throats, feeling the blood flow freely. As you look down and you see your mother, your father, their throats torn out. Doc, you're beginning to have a sense of awareness that something in this forest has been forcing you to experience these visceral fears, the fear that still grips you to some extent. But there's something new that you hear. A rhythmic, bassy thump, 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 as a shadow falls over you. Looking upward, you can just make out a vaguely humanoid shape towering over you.
Oh my god.
And then you see an arm raise a club and bring it down across the back of your head. And you fall unconscious.
Oh shit. Oh, we're captured. Oh, we're done.
I would like everyone
Oh
to roll me a d20 and add your Constitution modifier.
Okay. I would like to go ahead and do this with advantage, please.
8.
I'll use one of our newfound tomes. Thank you, everybody.
Did you say thank you, every me?
I said thank you, everybody.
I know what you said.
It would have been funnier if I said every me.
Thanks, me.
Thanks, me. I got a 22 with advantage.
All right.
20.
You sounded like Miranda sings there, dude.
20.
18.
20.
All right. Hold on. Oh, that's not the card I want. All right. So,
You can call roll, Mr. Norman.
Doc, what do you got?
8.
Okay. Assyria?
30, 20.
Mizya is a 9. Teera
22.
and Vorn.
18.
Okay. All right. Teera. You feel the visceral nature of this waking nightmare so intensely that it feels real. You feel the cold and the pain of your bare feet. You feel the growing hunger in your empty stomach. You feel the hollow place in your heart for what you've seen. But then you feel warmth. You smell crackling fire. The smoky smell of wood burning on a fire. You smell meat cooking. With the feeling, the lingering fear of waking from a nightmare, and with an intense pain in the back of your head, you come to. You find yourself lying a few feet away from a campfire. There's a spit over the fire. And there is quite a bit of meat on the fire roasting. You recognize your own boar meat that you carried in your packs is cooking.
Oh, okay.
You see next to you Vorn, Assyria, Mizya, Doc, all unconscious. They are lying around the fire, not in a way that they would naturally lie themselves, but as if somebody just sort of laid them and they just sort of fell there. You see Soren awake, curled next to Assyria, forepaws protectively over top of her. And you hear thump, 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 as a pile of wood is dropped next to the fire.
Shit.
You hear a voice say, "Oh, good. You're awake. turning towards the voice, illuminated by the fire, you see a figure that looks to be about 10 feet tall. Long, gangly, green, mottled green and gray arms, stringy, ropey hair hanging down, and some sort of makeshift, like tunic covering its body, as a very large lady troll is staring down at you.
I don't really try to move. Did she speak in common?
Actually, she didn't. She
Did
spoke
she
in
speak
giant.
Giant. Hey, I speak giant.
I know.
What? Awesome. Lucky me. So in giant, I kind of like hold up my hand and like my head is spinning. My head really hurts. And I just kind of like hold my hand up and I'm like, oh, where are we?
She gestures, and you see now that from your vantage point, kind of looking down, you see that it's late afternoon. And instead of the forest all around you, you see that you are where this campfire is. You can sort of see down from your vantage point that somewhere off in the distance, looks to be a good half mile or more away, is the edge of the forest. And you are lying underneath 3 tall pine trees that rise up high from the hill you are on.
3 trees. Okay.
And
with this, yeah.
She gestures around and says, "Free Tree Hill Camp. Had to get you out of the forest."
And kind of the memory, it had faded as soon as Teera started like looking around, but then the memory of like the dream and all of everything kind of floods back and she sort of shakes her head. And she looks up at this troll and is like, I'm very sorry if this is offensive. Are you gonna eat us or anything?
There's a lot of boar meat here.
Yeah, and you're welcome to it.
I don't
you for
want
getting
to
us
eat
out before.
alone.
Well,
Had
I
no
can eat with you.
intention of eating you.
Oh, I'd be happy to eat something. And Teera kind of like quirks her head up and she's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm starving.
The forest has a way of making you feel everything. You hear movement next to you, a whimper from Soren. As Assyria, you begin to regain consciousness, hearing this very booming, guttural sound that sounds like somebody's taking rocks and rubbing them together, followed by Teera's voice, which sounds like gravel grinding underfoot, as Teera is talking in giant.
Ow.
Syria, you're right.
Physically, yes.
I mean,
Where
let's
are
start
we?
here. You're alive, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. We're safe here, I think.
Where is here exactly?
Out of there.
Okay.
We're at 3 Tree Hill, looks like. And then Teera like counts them real quick and she's like, yep, 3 of them right here on the hill.
Sarah's just been rubbing her eyes furiously.
Just lost Gary.
No, I'm here.
Gary.
Oh, Gary.
Gary was too afraid and he left.
I'm
Dog
sorry.
died.
I'm looking at the stream right now, and all anybody can see is me and the words Mizya's disdain.
I mean,
It
those
needs
are
to
the
be
two most important
yes.
elements of this game. Let's be honest.
But Assyria will look around and then look towards our the troll. She doesn't know it's
Mhm.
well, I don't know if you quite understand me, but thank you.
She says thank you.
In common, the troll says, "Welcome."
Oh, I love her already.
What's your name, by the way?
The name I was given is Gut Ripper.
A beautiful name.
Do I know anything about like ogre culture? Was that
Ogre.
like an honorable name, or is that like a name you give an asshole, or like what kind of name is Gut
You can make
Ripper?
a history check if you want.
I would love to. I'm gonna. Here I go. That's a 9.
You don't know.
Aw.
You just know what it sounds like. The name
Well-
Gut Ripper.
God. Okay.
Next to you, you hear the mumbles of Vorn regaining consciousness.
As Vorn comes back, he kind of awakes with a "Where is she?" And he grabs his axe,
Oh geez.
the closest weapon. He's looking in the horizon. He's like,
I-
"Where
I-
is she?"
I hold my hand out,
Whoa.
and in Orcish I say, "Calm, brother."
Where is she? She has the axe. And like there's actually like for the first time, Vorn has kind of lost his center. Well, not for the first time, but there is a little bit of
Well.
orcish foam around.
Ooh, damn.
He's
yep.
outside of character,
Mhm.
how he likes to present himself.
Mhm.
And I'll kill her. I'll kill her now. Where is she?
I am gripping Vorn's shoulders now, and I'm like, I just again in Orcish I say, "Calm, calm," and I say, "Vorn, it was all a dream. I think it was something about the woods."
It was no dream. She's here. And
No,
the
no,
way
no.
someone kind of comes down from when you're awake, someone who's sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of state that Vorn is in now. He is looking and his eyes are wide and his brain is trying to reconnect with waking up with the world. And
Kind of. I'm
he's-
kind of trying to break Vorn and kind of protect him from doing anything stupid. So
slap her.
it appears to be a hug, but I'm just gonna like grip him like around his body. But I'm I'm hugging him, but also just like safety holding him, making sure he doesn't like hurt anybody else or himself in this kind of crazed state he's in right now.
As the world kind of like as Vorn like looks around a world that is familiar yet unfamiliar, the way you wake up in the middle of the night and look at the corner of your room and like, am I in my room? Like
Mhm.
he brings
Yes.
back and he just kind of and he
Mm-hmm.
I'll kill her. I'll find her. I'll break the curse. I'll break the curse. And then you feel like his muscles go from a sense of being tense to it relaxing as if he
I let him go.
and then
Like-
his eyes kind of like and
Oh God. For those who can't see Ricky, which is
Yeah.
everybody.
I'm working
Putting on
on
his
trying
You
to.
want me to log in with another account?
Yeah,
Jim?
that's what I've been trying to do, and my phone
I
is
got
being
you.
a dick.
I got you, boo.
is my,
Gary is out for the rest of the last few minutes. His internet completely went out.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So Vorn is scrambling. If people can hear me, I'm scrambling, putting the goggles on, and he kind of like looks in the way someone who is surprised looks up and through his goggles, like putting on your glasses, and he's sees the giant troll, and then he's like, oh, the axe, and he's
Vorn.
As you're reaching for the axe and you hear Assyria calling out your name, you see next to your feet, you see Doc's head connected to his body,
Oh God.
lying at your feet.
You asshole.
for a brief moment, Vorn looks at Doc's head, and the way you look at something that's okay, one piece, head, yeah. And he has the goggles, and they're not strapped to him right now. He's holding them up as if you're waking up in the middle of the night looking for your glasses, and he's holding them to his face like that, and he looks over. Teera, Assyria,
Yeah.
Vorn.
Mizya.
Down.
It's all right, Vaughn.
From one strange nightmare to the next.
Yeah.
And looks over at the troll, and he looks back at Teera, and seeing that Teera is not in barbarian berserk mode, not a threat,
And in Orcish, I say not a threat.
and looks over at Assyria, and looks at Assyria and Soren. Oh, not a threat.
Not a threat.
Am I awake? Wake?
Well, Assyria will actually walk up and pinch.
I was gonna say I pinched myself.
Yeah, pinch. You felt that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're awake.
Okay.
And I kind of like look at the frenzy in Vorn's eyes, and I kind of just like I just say to him, I say, "Did you see some crazy shit too?"
Ooh.
What the Akshak is going on?
It's a great question. Hey Jake, what the Okshock is going on with our windows? I'm just kidding.
Sorry. So at the
God
same,
bless, you're nailing it.
there
You are
was
nailing it.
there was a delay from when you joined
Sorry.
that my attempt to join jumped in.
Yeah. Everybody enjoy my
and-
headshot in Doc's window. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It went. I'm like, why are there two of me here?
No, it's cool. But I just say so I didn't even listen to your response. Did you see some crazy shit too?
See, it was real. It was there. Doc, the axe, the cursed axe. And Doc, he's all right, right? He's all right, yeah?
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Everybody's all right, yeah?
Yeah, he'll wake up soon. Mizzy will wake up soon.
Sorry,
What are you
Oh,
sorry
I had
for?
to hit him in the back of the head.
Why'd you have to hit him in the back of the head? Says Teera, kind of laughing now. Why?
You don't understand how people can be when they're terrified. They can be dangerous and unpredictable.
Yeah, I'll say I almost killed everyone in the camp right now.
I wouldn't have let you do that, little one.
Oh,
Appreciate that. Say, what the Ashok is going on?
We're out of it now. I think this is and I look around at Vorn, and I kind of turn Vorn around and I point at the trees. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3.
3 trees.
And
Three
where
trees.
are we now? And I point at kind of the ground. I gesture at the ground.
I had to pull you out of the Timor forest. It likes to climb inside your mind, find the things that scare you the most, and it makes you think they're real. But they're not.
I say, it felt very shocking real to me.
And I look up at Gut Ripper, and I just say, we owe you our lives. Is there anything we can do for you other than, enjoy all our pork.
Well, you're free to take a little while to rest up here. I wasn't stealing your pork. I was cooking it for all of you. You're going to need your strength.
Why are you helping us if you don't mind?
Are you not used to people helping you?
No.
Especially Troll's name. Did you say Gut Ripper?
Gut Ripper. Yeah.
Gut
it's Gut
Ripper is the name I was given.
Holy Morning Star.
Is there a
Listen.
name you prefer?
Listen, that's what I go by, is Gut Ripper. It's all I've ever known. I heard you was in trouble in the forest. When I can, I go in and help those who are stuck inside it. Otherwise, the forest will take them for itself. Claim them, leaving behind only their bones. You look like a strong group of individuals, and I haven't seen anyone this way in a while. That's why I helped you.
Thank you. Gut Ripper just doesn't seem to fit. But thank you, GR.
She just holds up her hand where you see these like 4-inch curved talons
Oh my god.
that she then reaches forward and uses to pull pieces of pork off
Oh my
of the spit.
Well,
From here, you can see where you need to go next. If you're following the road, you're going that way. And you can see in the distance, maybe a mile away, there appears to be a river running through the area.
Mm.
And you can see the covered wooden bridge crossing over the river as the road heads south into the distant rolling hills. Take your time and rest here.
Teera,
yeah,
we gotta introduce Gut Ripper to Little One. Just saying.
we're kind of a long way from home, Vaughn, but I think they would get along too. Matchmaker, make me a match.
I've never met two really nice trolls.
I know, like, this is really out of the norm, but. And Teera just kind of shakes her head and she kind of like, with like a dagger or an axe or something, she like just cuts off a little like a hunk of pork and she's like, I'm gonna go take a walk. I won't go far. You will be able to see me.
Yeah.
And I kind of go down the hill a ways and I just kind of want to be alone.
Okay.
The Vorn's gonna pop open a small like leather bound book, which is his journal, and it's been a long time since he's thought about or dreamed about or seen these deep, distant, dark, horrible memories. And he's just going to sketch and draw the blood X, write the name of his sister, and contemplate how he will kill her when he sees her again.
What are you doing, Assyria?
Syria has kind of been, and I'm sure Teera and Vorn have picked up on it, kind of folding in on herself a little bit more. She went from kind of poking at the fire with the stick to kind of sensing Teera step into the woods or away rather, she's going to also step away in the opposite direction, not going far, but just wanting to take a little bit of time. Right now, she's just kind of mindlessly wandering.
So Vorn looks up at Gut Ripper. Gut Ripper. Looks like
Yes.
it's just me and you. Oh, Mizya, Doc.
Mizya and Doc are still unconscious.
So very quiet.
I need to talk, but I'm not good at talking. It will help if you tell me about you first.
Well, I'd be happy to. And you hear what sounds like snapping twigs and breaking branches as this 10-foot tall troll crouches down. You hear their joints popping and cracking as they crouch down, not quite fully taking a seat, just sort of squatting next to the fire, and they grab a large stick, sort of poke into the fire, stirring up the flame a little bit. She reaches out with a sharp clawed hand and rips a swath of pork off of a piece of meat on the spit and begins sort of pulling at it. She puts some of it in her mouth and says, "Nobody's ever asked me about myself." And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, Vorn's got a girlfriend.
Love it.
All right.
Oh.
I hope you guys
Wow.
enjoyed that session because I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
There was one point where I said something really evil and it was serious in the moment. And if you look at me on stream, I can barely contain my smile.
You're just like giddy.
I was
Like a
delighting
kid
in
at Christmas.
I was
Don't
delighting
forget,
in the
y'all.
glee.
Don't forget, y'all, as Robo Goblin announced earlier today, the nominations are open for most evil DM.
Yeah. Jake, for your consideration. Scribes
This was some Call of Cthulhu level
It was.
yeah,
stuff that I was-
dark shit. I said later in the thing, I said, "Welcome to the unintentional Halloween episode."
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, and so I said this to the players when we went to break, but when I wrote up this encounter and sort of planned the mechanics of it, this was essentially like a fear-based skill challenge. I wrote a contingency for an all fail. And I literally said this afternoon as I wrote that,
out loud.
well, I'm glad I wrote this, but it's never going to happen. And I did not. I mean, I made a grid with all of your names on it and places for the 3 wisdom saves that took place at the various stages. Of 15 cells in the spreadsheet, only 2 of them say pass.
Wow.
I did not expect so many, and you were using domain domes.
It is astronomical, the odds of that happening. And well,
Well,
wow,
I don't want to hear
mileage
that
out of it.
these dice are rigged because apparently tonight was shown they are not rigged.
Goblin Katie is somewhere going like, tonight's the night.
Every time you've rolled a nat 20, somewhere Goblin Katie has a mystical sigil,
Enjoy it.
and one
Enjoy
little
it.
while you
So-
can.
one more rune disappears.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you can.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you to everybody who tuned in, and thank you if you're watching this later in the VOD. We appreciate all of you all the time. Thank you for those who donated towards the hype train and the players here with their meta boosts for a lot of those getting those tomes back. But whatever you got to do. And thank you for riding with us through some of the technical difficulties. hey, that's the nature of streaming. But be sure to tune in this Thursday for some Dawnbringers. We are within 2 to 3 episodes of the finale of season 5. We are closing in on it. It's getting exciting, and the finale may be delayed a few weeks, so you'll want to stay tuned for that, because we will not play the finale unless we have all of our players available. And in case you missed it, if you weren't there with us Thursday, we announced on stream, and we'll be announcing on social medias later, that Goblin Katie has been joining us for the summer, filling in for M while they were gone pursuing real life adventures. Goblin Katie is officially joining the Dawnbringers, and will be staying on for season 6. So you want to tune
Goblin
in
Katie is a
for
treasure.
that. Stay tuned to everybody's social medias and whatnot, because lots of great games happening here, there, and everywhere. Be sure to check out D&D Jordan Lee, because Jordan's got a little something coming up in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
And then I know there's something else. Oh, there's a Halloween game happening on, I almost said January, October 30th,
Wow.
right here on twitch.tv/Need Domain, featuring our Call of Cthulhu Mythos crew, Cari and Alex and M and Karen and Dwight, as I will be taking them through Exaguinus, a mothership RPG Halloween space horror game.
That's awesome.
Woo!
It's gonna be
Um,
tight.
Oh, space horror is awesome. That's my
I'm
favorite
gonna watch
genre.
Alien, Aliens, and whatever the
If-
third one is in preparation.
Watch
I
Event Horizon.
I was going to say, I
That's-
highly recommend Event Horizon,
Event
as it's a
Horizon.
major inspiration for Mothership and the way I will be running my game.
Event Horizon and Pandora. Is that the name of that movie?
Pandora.
Pandorium? It's the movie where everyone is asleep in hyperspace. We'll talk about it off camera.
Well, anyway, lots of great stuff. Lots of great stuff going on. I'm going to see who comes up here. I know he has a tendency to end shortly after we do, but we're gonna raid Zerjester anyway. Zerjester is doing some awesome stuff of late, and I'm gonna send y'all over there. If you're not already following him, go ahead and do it. Tell them MTD sent you, because we are going to do a raid. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. Thank you for all the wonderful people participating in chat. And if you are one of those people that likes to lurk silently and not participate in chat and just listen in the background, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And of course, as always, a huge thank you to these amazing players, whether they're here now or not. Gary, Cari, Jordan, Ricky, the Ruckus, and Dwight, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for a couple of hours. We are going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Da-da!